Hello, how are you doing? How is the going? How are you? Truly, seriously, how are you? Today, do you know nobody prepares you for some battles? Huh? Kuna vita ambazo nobody will prepare you. You just find yourself in the mix. Unajipata hapo katikati. Let's look at David. When there was a battle against Goliath, Daudi alikuwa anachunga kondoo za babake. David was not in the field. David was not in that mix. David hakuwa among the people who were chosen to go and fight Goliath. Ni ndugu zake walikuwa wamechaguliwa because David was the youngest. Yeye ndiye alikuwa kitinda mimba, yule mdogo. And now he had to be left at home to take care of the father and his father's what? Sheep. And the brothers went to the battle. Wakaenda kupigana na Goliath. And now, David's father, babake akamtuma, aende akapelekea ndugu zake chakula. You get my point? David was going to take food to his brothers. On getting to the field, hapa ndio Goliath anakuja. This is now the time the battle was about to begin. David is there, and when his brothers saw him, they became mad at him. Walikasirika kwa sababu walimuuliza, umewachia nani kondoo za baba? What are you doing here? And remember, David was not going to the battle. David was taking food to his brothers. Now, everybody, kila mtu wakati aliona Goliath aliogopa. Everybody was afraid. Kwa sababu Goliath was not what they were expecting. He was huge, masculine, like according to how the Bible describes Goliath. Hey, hata wewe ungekubali. Now everybody became afraid. Even the men who were supposed to fight this Goliath, they became afraid. Walipomuona waliogopa. And nobody was ready to risk their lives fighting with this Goliath. And now David is here. He is not part of that battle men. Innocent David was taking food. When he heard and when he saw everything that was happening, David was like, I think this man is not big enough for my God. I think I can do this. And David akauliza, whoever is going to fight this and win, what's the reward? And he was informed. And Saul, upon hearing who is daring to fight Goliath, he called him, akamtumania, and David came before Saul. And Saul, looking at David, akamwambia, you are just a young man. And this is a man, Goliath now, is a man who has been in this field for long. And you are a very young man. David akaambia mfalme, nimekuwa nikilinda kondoo za babangu. Simba akija na muua. Nothing dared David when he was taking care of his father's sheep. And David was so determined to fight Goliath, despite the king's warning. Because according to the king, David was not qualified for the battle. But Daudi naye ni nani? Who was David? He was ready to fight. What was the force driving David to fight Goliath? Kwa sababu if these men are running away and David is here daring to fight Goliath, what was the force behind it? Do you know the answer? It's God. David knew who his God was, and he knew nothing is impossible, and he had total faith. So Goliath was very small when it came to David and his God. Do you know what? To the surprise of the king and to the surprise of everybody, David killed Goliath. Was David prepared for this battle? No. Obviously, these men who are in the field, ambao walikuwa wamechaguliwa kwenda kupigana na Goliathi, they were trained. What about David? David never went on any training, but he ended up killing Goliath. It's not how prepared you are, it's who is behind your force. Hata ukienda mazoezi miaka 10, miaka 20, and you are no force that is driving you, utashindwa. You will lose the battle. Let me tell you something. Nothing dares God. No one dares God. Ask David. God is everywhere. God is so powerful. God is so... Nothing is impossible, like nothing. When it comes to God, have total faith. Be assured. Mungu haezi shindwa. Mungu hajawahi shindwa na Mungu hatawahi shindwa. It doesn't matter the battle you are in. It doesn't matter who is against you. It doesn't matter what you are fighting. Maybe it's Goliath. Maybe it's bigger than Goliath. But remember one thing. God cannot be defeated. When you put your hope and your trust in God, kila kitu kitakuwa sawa. Everything will go smoothly. Because God, when your force is driven by God, my friend, you don't need preparations. Hauhitaji mavazi ya vita. Hapana. Your simplicity and your God is enough. Your submission, your trust, your faith in God is enough. Do not let anybody discourage you. Do not let anybody tell you otherwise. God is the force, the biggest force, the strongest force, and a force that no other force can challenge. That is God. My friend, put your trust in God. Believe in God. And that monster will not harm you. That monster will not finish you. You are going to win. Because God is there. And because God is the one fighting, not you. Okay? God bless you.